other to amuse, delight among the rest, and 2 young twins. A storm has forced their vessel from its course, and now they strike upon submerged rock. Uncertain what to leave and what to save, brother and sister, often since their father's death, have put themselves alone in all the world. Deep currents in the sinking bark divide would not have ever kept apart. The poor survivors reach an alien shore. For Messalina, this country is at war. Friends, is this?
This is Illyria, lady.
What should I do in Illyria? My brother, he is in Elysia. Perchance he is not drowned.
It was perchance you yourself were saved.
Oh, my poor brother. So perchance may he be.
True, madame. And to comfort you with chance, assure yourself, after our ship did split, when you and those poor numbers saved with you hung on our driving boat, I saw your brother, most provident in peril, bind himself to a strong mast that lived upon the sea. I saw him hold acquaintance with the waves, so long as I could see.
Mine own escape unfoldeth to my hope, whereto thy speech serves for authority, the light of him. Knowest thou this country?
I, madame, well, for I was bred and born not 3 hours' travel from this very place.
Who governs here?
A noble duke, in nature as in name.
What's his name?
Orsino.
Orsino. I have heard my father name him. He was a bachelor then.
And is so now, or was so very late. For about a month ago I went hence, and then 'twas fresh a murmur, as you know, that he did seek the love of fair Olivia.
What's she?
A virtuous maid, the daughter of a count that died some 12 months since. Then leaving her in the protection of his son, her brother, who shortly also died, for whose dear love, they say, she hath adjured the company in sight of men.
Oh, that I served that lady.
That'd be hard to compass, for she will admit no kind of suit. No, not the duke's.
There is a fair behavior in thee, lady, and though that nature with a beauteous wall doth oft close in pollution, yet of thee I will believe thou hast a mind that suits with this thy fair and outward character. I prithee, and I'll pay thee bounteously, conceal me what I am, and be my aid for such disguise as haply shall become the form of my intent. I'll serve this duke. Thou shalt present me as a boy to him. It may be worth thy pains, for I can sing, and speak to him in many sorts of music. This will make me very worth his service. What else mayhap to time I will commit. Only shape thou silence to my wit.
You his boy, and your mute I'll be. When my tongue blabs, let mine eyes not see.
I thank you. Please kneel. I thank you.
If music be the food of love, play on. Give me excess of it, that surfeiting. The appetite may sicken, and so die. That strain again, it had a dying fall. Oh, it came over my ear like the sweet sound that breathes upon a bank of violets, stealing and giving odor. Enough. No more. It's not so sweet now as it was before.
Will you go hunt, my lord?
What curio?
The heart.
Why, so I do. The noblest that I have. Oh, when mine eyes did see Olivia first, methought she purged the air of pestilence. That instant, I was turned into a hart. Now my desires, like fell and cruel hounds, e'er sent pursue me. How now? What news from her?
If you please, my lord, I might not be admitted, but from her handmaid do return this answer. The element itself, till 7 years heat, shall not behold her face in ample view, but like the cloistered she will veiled walk, and water once a day her chamber round with eyes bending brine. All this to season a brother's dead love, which she would keep fresh and lasting in her sad remembrance.
Oh, she that hath a heart of that fine frame, to pay this debt of love but to a brother. How will she love when the rich, golden shaft hath killed the flock of all affections else that live in her? When liver, brain, and heart, these sovereign thrones are all supplied and filled, for sweet perfections else, with oneself king. Away before me, to sweet beds of flowers. Love thoughts lie rich when canopied with boughs.
What a plague means my niece to take the death of her brother thus? I am sure carries an enemy to life.
By my troth, Sir Toby, you must come in early or night. Your cousin, my lady, takes great exception to your ill hours.
Why, let her expect before expected.
Aye, but you must confine yourself within the modest limits of order.
Confine? I'll confine myself to no finer than I am. These clothes be good enough to drink in, and so be these boots too. And if they not, let them hang themselves in their own straps.
That quaffing and drinking will undo you. I heard my lady talk of it yesterday. And of a foolish knight you brought in one night here to be her wooer.
Who? Sir Andrew Aguecheek.
Aye, he.
Why, he's a tall man as any's in Illyria.
What's that to the purpose?
He has 3,000 ducats a year.
Aye, but he'll have but a year in all these ducats. He's a very fool and a prodigal.
5 that you'll say so. Speaks 3 or 4 languages word for word without book, and hath all the good gifts of nature.
He hath indeed almost natural, for besides that he's a fool, he's a great fool. And what he hath the gift to lay the gust he hath in quarreling. 'Tis thought among the prudent he would quickly have the gift of a brain.
There are scoundrels and subtractors that say so of him. Who are they?
They that add moreover, he's drunk nightly in your company.
With drinking healths to my niece. I'll drink to her as long as there's passage in my throat of drink in Illyria. Ah, here comes Sir Andrew Aguecheek.
Sir Toby Felt. How now, Sir Toby Felt?
Sweet Sir Andrew.
Bless you, fair shrew.
Accost, Sir Andrew, accost. What's that? My niece's chambermaid?
Good Mr. Sakoff, I desire better acquaintance.
My name is Mary, sir.
Good Mistress Mary Accost?
You mistake, knight. Accost is front her, board her, woo her, assail her.
By my troth, I will not undertake her in his company. Is that meaning of Accost?
Fare you well, gentlemen.
And thou art part so, Sir Andrew.
All right, home tomorrow, Sir Toby.
Pourquoi, my dear knight?
Pourquoi? What is pourquoi? Do or not do? I would I had bestowed the time that I had in fencing and dancing. Oh, God above all the arts. Faith, I'll home tomorrow, Sir Toby. Your niece will not be seen, or if she be, it's 4 to 1, she'll none of me. The Count himself here hard by woos her.
She'll have none of the Count. I've heard her swear. She'll not match above her degree, neither in estate, years, nor wit. Tuh, there's life in the family.
I'll stay a month longer. I am a fellow of the strangest mind in the world.
Ha ha, excellent.
If the Duke continues these favors towards you, Cesario, you will be much advanced. He hath known you but 3 days, and already you are no stranger.
You either fear his humor or my negligence, that you call in question the continuance of his love. Is he inconstant, sir, in his favors?
No, believe me.
I thank you. Here comes the Count.
Who saw Cesario?
On your attendance, my lord. Here.
Stand you a while aloof. Cesario, thou knowest no less than all. I have unclasped to thee the book even of my secret soul. Therefore, good youth, address thy gate unto her. Be not denied access. Stand in the doors, and tell them there thy fixed foot shall grow till thou have audience.
Sure, my noble lord, if she be so abandoned to her sorrows as it is spoke, she never will admit me.
Be clamorous. Leave all civil bounds.
Say I do speak with her, my lord. What's then?
Oh, then surprise her with the passion of my dear faith. Surprise her with discourse of my dear love. It shall become thee well to act my woes. Thee shall attend it better thy youth.
I think not so, my lord.
Dear lad, believe it, for they shall yet belie thy happy ears that say thou art a man. For Diana's lip is not more smooth than rubies. Thy small pipe is as maid's organ, shrill and sound, and all a semblance of a woman's part. I know thy constellation is right apt for this affair. 4 or 5 attentive, all, if you will, for I myself am best when least in company. Prosper well in this, and thee shall live as freely as thy lord, to call his fortunes thine.
I'll do my best to woo your lady. He is a barful strive, whoe'er I woo, myself would be his wife.
Nay, either tell me where thou hast been, I will not open my lips so wide as a bristle may enter in way of thy excuse. My lady will hang thee for thy absence.
Let her hang me. He that is well hanged in this world needs to fear no colors.
I can tell thee where that saying is born, of I fear no colors,
Where good Mistress Mary.
in the wars. And that may you be so bold to say in your foolery.
Well, God give them wisdom that have it. And those that are fools, let them use their talents.
But you'll be hanged or turned away. Is that not as good as it meaning to you to be turned away?
Many a good hanging prevents bad marriage.
You are resolute then,
Not so neither, but I am resolved on 2 points.
that if one will break, the other will hold.
Act in good faith, very act. Well, go thy way. If Sir Toby would leave drinking, thou wert as witty a piece of Eve's flesh as any in Illyria.
Peace, you rogue, no more of that. Here comes my lady. Make your excuse wisely, you were best.
God bless thee, lady. Take the fool away. Do you not hear, fellows? Take away the lady.
Go to yard, dry fool, no more.
Besides, you grow dishonest. 2 faults, Madonna, that drink in good counsel will amend. Forgive the dry fool drink, then is the fool not dry? soul is in hell, Madonna.
I know his soul is in heaven, fool.
The more fool, Madonna, to mourn for your brother's soul being in heaven. Take away the fool, gentlemen.
What think you of this fool, Malvolio? Doth she not mend?
Yes, and shall do till the pangs of death shake her. Infirmity that decays the wise doth ever make the better fool.
God send you, sir, speedy infirmity, for the better increasing your folly.
What say you to that, Malvolio?
I marvel your ladyship takes such delight in a barren rascal. She is out of her guard unless you laugh and minister occasion to her. She is gagged.
Oh, you are sick of self-love, Malvolio, and taste with a distempered appetite. There is no slander in a loud fool, though he do nothing but rail, nor no railing in no discreet man, though he do nothing but reprove.
Now Mercury endue thee with leasing, for thou speakest well of fools.
Madam, there is at the gate a young gentleman much desires to speak with you.
From the Count Orsino, is it?
I know not, madam. 'Tis a fair young gentleman and well attended.
Who of my people hold him in delay?
Sir Toby, madam, your kinsman.
Fetch him off, I pray you. He speaks nothing but madmen. Fine. Go you, Malvolio. If it be a suit from the Count, I am sick or not at home, what you will to dismiss it. Now you see, sir, how your fooling grows old and people dislike it.
Thou hast spoke first, Madonna, as if thy eldest son should be a fool, whose skull doth cram with brains. For here he comes, one of thy kin has a most weak Thea major.
By mine honor hath come up. What is he at the gate, cousin?
Gentlemen,
A gentleman. What gentleman?
'tis a gentleman at the gate. Plague of those fickle herrings. How now, soft?
Good Sir Toby!
Cousin, have you come so early by this lethargy?
Lechery. Why defy lechery? Sword the gate.
I'm hungry. What is he?
Let him be the devil, and I care not. It's all one.
What's a drunken man like, fool? Like a drowned man, a fool, and a madman. One drowning bucket makes him a fool, the second nads him, and the third drowns him.
Go thou and seek the crowner and have him sit on my cause, for he's in the 3rd degree of drink. He's drowned. Go, look after him.
He is but mad yet, Madonna, and the fool shall look after the madman.
Madam, yon young fellow swears he will speak with you. I told him you were sick. It takes on him to understand so much, and therefore comes to speak with you. I told him you were asleep. He seems to have a foreknowledge of that, and therefore comes to speak with you.
Tell him he shall not speak with me.
Has been told so, and he says he'll stand at your door like a sheriff's post.
What kind of man is he?
Why, of mankind.
What manner of man?
A very ill manner. He'll speak with you, will you or no?
Of what personage in years is he?
Not yet old enough for a man, nor young enough for a boy. One would think his mother's milk was scarce out of him.
Let him approach. Call in my gentlewoman.
Gentlewoman, my lady calls.
Come, bring me my veil. Throw it over my face. We'll once more hear Orsino's embassy.
The Honorable Lady of the House. Which is she?
Speak to me, I'll answer for her. Your will?
Most radiant, exquisite, and unmatchable beauty. I pray you tell me if this be the lady of the house, for I never saw her. I would be loath to cast away my speech.
Whence came you, sir?
Good gentle one, give me modest assurance if you be the lady of the house, that I may proceed in my speech.
Are you a comedian?
No, my profound heart. And yet I swear I am not that I play. Are you the lady of the house?
If I do not usurp myself, I am.
Most certain, if you are she, you do usurp yourself. For what is yours to bestow is not yours to reserve. But this is from my commission. I will on with my speech in your praise, and
it, I forgive you the praise.
Alas, I took great pains to study it, and 'tis poetical.
It is the more like to be feigned, and I pray you keep it in. I heard you were saucy at my face, and allowed your approach to wonder at you rather than to hear you. If you be not mad, be gone. If you have reason, be brief. 'Tis not that time of gloom with me to make one in so skipping dialogue.
Will you hoist sail, sir? Here lies your way.
No, good swabber. I am to hold here a little longer.
Tell me your mind.
I am a messenger.
Speak your office.
It alone concerns your ear. I bring no overtures of war, no taxation of homage. My words are as full of peace as matter.
Yet you began rudely. What are you? What would you?
The rudeness that hath appeared in me have I learned from my entertainment. What I am and what I would are as secret as maidenhead. To your ears, divinity. To many others, profanation.
Give us this place alone. We will hear this divinity. Now, sir, what is your text?
Most sweet lady.
A comfortable doctrine, and much may be said of it. Where lies your text?
In Orsino's bosom.
In his bosom? In what chapter of his bosom?
In the first of his heart.
Oh, I have read it. It is heresy. Have you no more to say?
Good madam, let me see your face.
Have you any commission from your lord to negotiate with my face? You are now out of your text, but we will draw the curtain and show you the picture on it. Look you, sir. Is it not well done?
Excellently done. If God did all,
'Tis in grain, sir. 'Twill endure wind and weather.
his beauty truly blent. My lady, you are the cruelest she alive. If you will lead these graces to the grave, and leave the world no copy.
Oh, I will not be so hard-hearted. I will give out diverse schedules of my fee. It shall be inventoried, and every particle and utensil labeled to my will as item, 2 lips in different red. Item, 2 blue eyes with lids to them. Item, 1 chin, 1 neck, and so forth. Were you sent hither to praise me?
I see what you are. You are too proud. My lord and master loves you. Oh, such love could be but recompensed, though you were crowned with the non-Ariel of beauty.
How does love?
With adorations, fertile tears, with groans that thunder love, with sighs of fire.
Your lord does know my mind. I cannot love him. And yet, I suppose him virtuous, know him noble, of great estate, of fresh and stainless youth, in voices well divulged, free, learned, and valiant, and in the dimension and shape of nature a gracious person. But yet I cannot love him. He might have took his answer long ago.
If I did love you with my master's flame, with such a suffering, such a deadly strife, in your denial I would find no sense. I would not understand it.
Why? What would you?
Make me a willow cabin at your gate, and call upon my soul within the house. Write loyal cantons of contented love, and sing them aloud, even in the dead of night. Halloo your name unto the reverberate hills, and make the babbling gossip of the air cry out, Olivier! get you to your lord. I cannot love him. And let him son no more. Unless, perchance, you come to me again to tell me how he takes it. Fare you well, good messenger. I thank you for your pains. Spend this for me.
I am no feed post, lady. Keep your purse. My master, not myself, lacks recompense. Farewell, fair cruelty.
What is your parentage? Above my fortune, yet my state is well. I am a gentleman. I'll be sworn thou art. Thy tongue, thy lips, thy face do give thee fivefold blazon. Not too fast, soft, soft, unless the master were the man. How now? Even so quickly may one catch the plague? Methinks I feel this youth's perfections with an invisible and subtle stealth to creep in at mine eyes. Well, let it be so. What ho, Malvolio?
Here, madam, at your request.
Run after that same peevish messenger, the county. He left this ring behind him, would I not? Tell him I'll none of it. Desire with him not to flatter with his lord, nor hold him up with hopes. I am not for him. If that the youth shall come this way tomorrow, I'll give him reasons for it. Hide thee, Malvolio.
Madam, I will.
I know not what, and fear to find mine eye too great a flatter for my mind. Fate, show thy force. Ourselves we do not owe. What is decreed must be, and be this so.
Will you stay no longer, nor that I go with you?
By your patience, no. My stars shine darkly over me.
Let me know whither you are bound.
You must know me then, Antonio. My name is Sebastian. My father was that Sebastian of Wrestling who I know you've heard of. He left behind him myself and his sister, both born within an hour. And had the heavens been so pleased, would we have so ended? But you, sir, altered that. For an hour before I was taken from the breach of the sea, my sister drowned.
Alas, the day.
A lady, sir, though it was said she much resembled me, was many accounted beautiful. She's drowned already, sir, with salt water. Well, I seem to drown her remembrance again with more.
Pardon me, sir.
Oh, good Antonio, forgive me your trouble.
If you will not murder me for my love, let me be your servant.
Fare thee well. I am bound to Count Orsino's court. Farewell.
The gentleness of all the gods go with thee. I have many enemies in Orsino's court, else I would shortly see thee there. But come what may, I do adore thee so, that danger shall seem sport, and I will go.
Were you not even now with the Countess Olivia?
Even now, sir. On a moderate pace I have since arrived, but hither.
She returns this ring to you, sir. You might have saved me my pains to have taken it away yourself. She adds, moreover, to put your lord in a desperate assurance. She will none of him. And one thing more, that you never be so hardy to come in his affairs, unless it be to report his taking of this. Receive it so.
She took the ring of me. I'll none of it.
Come, sir, you peevishly threw it at her, and her will is to be so returned. If it be worth stooping for, there it lies in your eye. If not, be it his that finds it.
I left no ring with her. What means this, lady? Fortune
Fortune forbid my outside have not charmed her. For she did make good view of me. Indeed, so much, he thought her eyes had lost her tongue. And she did speak in starts distractedly. Oh, she loves me, sure. And the cunning of her passion invites me in this churlish messenger. None of my lord's ring. Why, he gave her none. I am the man. If it be so, as 'tis, poor lady, she would better love a dream. Disguise, I see thou art a wickedness, wherein the pregnant enemy does much. How easy it is for the proper false in women's waxen hearts to set their forms. Alas, our frailty is the cause, not we. For such as we are made of, such we be. Howl dispatch. My master loves her dearly, and I, poor monster, fond as much on him. And she, mistaken, seems to dote on me. Oh, what will become of this? As I am mad, my state is desperate for my master's love. As I am woman. Now alas the day. What thriftless sighs shall poor Olivia breathe? O time, thou must untangle this. Not I. It's far too hard a knot for me to untie.
Approach, Sir Andrew. About to be about after midnight to figure out the times.
Nay, by my troth, I know not, but I know to be up late is to be up late.
A false conclusion. I hate it as an unfilled can. To be up after midnight and to go to bed then as early. So to be up after midnight and to go to bed as betimes. Very nice, eh? A skip of wine.
Ah, here comes the fool in Faye.
Come now, my hearts.
Welcome, Kyle. Now let's have a catch.
My lady has a white hand, and the Myrmidons are no bottle alehouses.
Excellent. Well, this is the best fooling when all is done. Now, a song.
Come, there's 6 pence in it for you. Now, let's have a song.
Would you have a love song or a song of good life?
A love song. A love song.
I care not for good life.
tonight I want to catch it with our 3 meters on one soul. Shall we do that?
And you love me? Let's do it. I am a dog at a catch. Hurrah!
Our ladies, catch well.
Excellent, excellent. Now let our catch be thou may. Yeah, that's it.
Hold thy peace, thou knave. I shall be constrained in it to call thee knave knight.
It is not the first time I've constrained one to call me knave. Begin, fool, begin. It begins. Hold thy peace,
Thou knave.
Hold thy peace,
Begin
thou knave.
if I hold my peace. Hold thy peace, thou knave.
Hold thy peace,
Thou
At the
knave.
wall and you keep you.
Oh, rough!
Thou knave.
My lady, how
Hold thy peace, thou
Lady,
knave.
open curtains,
Hold
lift your
thy
eyes.
peace, thou knave.
Never
Hold thy peace, thou knave. Hold thy peace, thou knave. Hold thy peace, thou knave. Hold thy peace, thou knave.
Peace.
Peace! Hold thy peace, thou knave. Hold thy peace, thou knave. Hold thy peace, thou knave.
Mad or what?
Hold thy peace, thou
You
knave.
have no wit.
Rough!
Or honesty but to gabble like tinkers at this time of night. Do ye make an alehouse out of my lady's house? Do you have no respect of place, persons, nor time in you?
We did keep time, sir, in our catches. Snake up.
Sir Toby, I must be round with you. Though my lady harbors you as her kinsman, she is nothing allied to your disorders. If you can separate yourself and your misdemeanors, you are very willing to stay. If not, and it please you to take leave of her, she is very willing to bid you farewell.
Farewell, dear heart, since we must needs speak of.
Hey, good Sir Toby.
His eyes to show his days are almost done.
Is it
But
even
I
so?
shall never die.
There you lie.
Shall I bid him go?
And what
This
if
is
you
much
do?
credit to you.
Shall I bid him go and spare not?
No, 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 you dare not.
Out of tune, sir. Ye lie. Art thou any more than a steward? Dost thou think because thou art virtuous, there shall be no more cakes and ale?
Yes, by St. Anne.
Thou art in the right. Rub your chin with crumbs. And a stoup of wine.
Mistress Mary, if you prize my lady's favor at anything more than contempt, you would not give in to this uncivil rule. She shall know of it. By this hand.
Go shake your ears.
Twere as good a deed as to drink when a man's a-hungry, to challenge him to the field and to break promise with him, and make a fool of him.
Do it, knight. I'll write thee a challenge or deliver thy indignation by word of mouth.
Sweet Sir Toby, be patient for tonight. Since the youth of the Count was today with my lady, she is much out of quiet. From Monsieur Malvolio, let me alone with him. If I do not gull him into a nay word or make him a common recreation, do not think I have wit enough to lie straight in my bed. I know I can do it.
Possess us. Possess us. Tell us something of him.
Marry, sir, sometimes he's a kind of Puritan.
Oh, if I thought that, I'd beat him like a dog. Ruff, ruff, ruff.
What? For being a Puritan? Thy exquisite reason, dear knight.
I have no exquisite reason for it, but I have reason good enough.
The devil of Puritan that he is, or anything constantly but a time pleaser. An infectioned ass that calm states without book and utters it by great force. The best persuaded of himself, so crammed as he thinks that it is with excellencies in his grounds of faith that all that look on him love him. And in that vice in him will my revenge find no full cause to work.
What wilt thou do?
I will drop in his way some obscure epistles of love, wherein, by the color of his beard, the shape of his leg, the manner of his gait, the expression of his eye, forehead, and complexion, he shall find himself most feelingly personated. I can write very much like my lady, your niece. On forgotten matter, we can hardly make distinction of our hands.
Ha! Excellent, I smell a device.
I have it in my nose, too.
He shall think, by the letters thou wilt draw, that they come from my niece, and she's in love with him.
My purpose is indeed a horse of that color.
And your horse now, and make him an ass.
Ass I doubt not.
Oh, 'twill be admirable.
I will plant you three, and let the fool make a fourth, or he shall find the letter, observe his construction of it. For this night, to bed, and dream on the event. Farewell.
Good night, Princess Sylvia.
Before me, she's a good wench.
And what did adores me? What of that?
I was adored once, too.
Let's to bed, Knight. Come, Knight. Come, Knight.
Give me some music. Now, good old friends. Now, good to sorry. But that piece of song, that old antique song we heard last night, methought it did relieve my passion much, more than light airs and recollected terms of these most brisk and giddy-faced times. Come, but one verse.
She is not here, so please, my lord, that should sing it.
Who was it?
Feste, the jester, my lord, a fool that the Lady Olivia's father took much delight in. She is about the house.
Seek her out, and play the tune a while. How dost thou like this tune?
It gives a very echo to the seat where love is throned.
Thou dost speak naturally. I like the comment. But young though thou art, thine eye is spied upon some favor that it loves. Hath it not, boy?
A little. By your favor.
What kind of woman is?
Of your complexion, my lord.
She is not worth thee then. What years I fit?
About your years, my lord.
Too old by heaven. Let still the woman take an elbow in herself. So wear she to him, so sway she level in her husband's heart. Poor boy, however, we do praise ourselves. Our fancies are more giddy and infirm, more wavering, sooner lost in won than women's are.
I think it well, my lord.
Then let thy love be younger than thyself, lest thy affection cannot hold the bent. For women are as roses, whose fair flower, being once displayed, doth fall that very hour.
And so they are. Alas that they are so. Who die, even when they to perfection grow.
Oh, fellow, come. But that song we had last night. Marcus, sorry. It is old in play.
Are you ready, sir?
Aye, prithee, sing.
Come away, death, and in sad cypress let me be laid. Fly away, breath, I am slain by a fair cool maid. My shroud of white stuck all with you, oh, prepare it.
one time or another. Now the melancholy god protects thee. Farewell.
Let all the rest give place. Cesaria, get me once more to yon sovereign cruelty.
But if she cannot love you, sir.
I cannot be so answered.
Sooth, but you must. Say there is something, as perhaps there is. Hath for your love as great a pang of heart as you have for Olivia. You cannot love her, you tell her so. Must she not then be answered?
There is no woman's sighs that can withstand the beat of so strong a passion as love doth give my heart. No woman's heart so big as to hold so much. They lack retention. Alas, although love may be called appetite, the mind is as hungry as the sea, and can digest as much. Make no compare between that love a woman may bear me, and that I owe Olivia.
Aye, but I know!
What dost thou know?
Too well what love women to men may owe. Indeed, they are as true of heart as we. My father had a daughter, loved a man. As it might be, perhaps, were I a woman, I should, your lordship.
What's her history?
A blank, my lord. She never told her love, but let concealment, like a worm in the bud, feed on her damask cheek. She pined in thought, and with a green and yellow melancholy, sat like patience on a monument, smiling at grief. Was not this love indeed? We men may say more, swear more, but indeed our shows are more than will. For yet we prove much in our vows, but little in our love.
And died she of her love, my boy?
I am all the daughters of my father's house, and all the brothers too. And yet I know not. Sir, shall I to this lady?
Aye, that's the thing. Do her in haste. And give her this jewel. Say my love can give no place. Bide no delay.
Come thy ways, Fabia.
Nay, I'll come. If I lose a scruple of this sport, let me be boiled to death in melancholy.
Wouldst thou not have this sheep-biter come by some notable shame?
I would exult, man. You know he brought me out of favor with my lady.
Get ye all four into the box tree. Malvolio is coming down the squat. He has been yonder in the sun practicing behavior to his own shadow. Observe him for the love of mockery, for I know this letter will make a contemplative idiot of him. Close in the name of jesting. Lie thou there.
Tis but fortune, all is fortune. Mariah once told me she did affect me, and I have heard herself come thus near. That, should she fancy it should be one of my complexion. Besides, she uses me with a more exalted manner than anyone else that follows her. What should I think on't?
Here's an overweening rogue.
Sly thing, so beat the rogue.
Peace, I say.
To be Count Malvolio.
Oh, rogue, pistol in. Peace, peace.
Having been 3 months married to her, sitting in my state, calling my officers about me in my branched velvet gown, having come from a daybed where I have left Olivia sleeping, and to have the humor of the state, and after a demure travel of regard, telling them I know my place as I should, they should do theirs, asking for my kinsman Toby. I frown the while and perchance wind up my watch or play with some rich jewel. Toby approaches, curtsies there to me.
Shall this fellow live?
I extend my hand to him thus.
And
Does not Toby take you a blow on the lips then?
Saying, Cousin Toby, you must amend your drunkenness.
Out, scab.
Hey, patience! I
Besides, you waste the treasure of your time with your foolish knight.
That's me, I warned you.
Andrew.
I knew 'twas I, but they do call me a fool.
What employment have we here? By my life, this is my lady's hand. To the unknown beloved, this in my good wishes, her very phrases. By your leave, wax, soft to whom should this be? Jove knows I love but who, lips do not move, no man must know. No man must know what follows the numbers altered. No man must know. If this should be the Malvolio, I may command where I adore, but silence like a Lucrece knife with bloodless stroke my heart doth gore. M-O-A-I doth sway my life. M-O-A-I doth sway my life. Nay, but first let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I may command where I adore. Why she may command me, I serve her, she is my lady. And the end. What should that alphabetical position portend? If I can make this resemble something in me, softly. M-O-A-I. Malvolio, M-Y, that begins my name. A should follow, but O does, and then I comes behind M-O-A-I. This simulation is not as the former, and yet to crush this a little, it would bow to me, for every one of these letters are in my name. Soft, here follows prose. If this fall into thy hand, revolve in my stars, I am above thee, but be not afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. Remember who commended thy yellow stockings, and wish to see thee cross-gartered. I say, remember, go to thou art made if thou desirest to be so. If not, let me see thee a steward still. The fellow of servants and not worthy to touch fortune's fingers. Farewell, she that would alter services with thee, the fortunate and happy. This is open. I do not now fool myself to let imagination jade me. For every reason excites to this, that my lady loves me. She did commend my yellow stockings at late. She did praise my leg being cross-gartered, and in this, she manifests her love to me. Here is yet a postscript. Thou canst not choose but know who I am. If thou entertainest my love, let it appear in thy smiling. Thy smiles become thee well. Therefore, in my presence still smile, dear, my sweet, I pray thee. Jove, I thank thee. I will do everything that thou wilt have me do.
would not give my part of this sport for a pension of thousands.
I could marry the wench for this device.
So could I too.
And ask no other dowry but such another jest.
Nor I
My
neither.
noble ball catcher.
Wilt thou set thy foot upon my neck?
Or on mine either?
Say true, does it work upon him?
Like Aquavita with a midwife.
If you will then see the fruits of the sport, mark his first approach before my lady. He will come to her in yellow stockings, and 'tis a color she abhors. And cross-gartered, a fashion she detests. And he will smile upon her, which will now be so unsuitable to her disposition, being addicted to a melancholy as she is, that it cannot but turn him into a notable contempt. And you will see it follow me.
que vous gagnez, monsieur?
Et vous aussi, votre serviteur.
I hope, sir, you are, and I am yours.
Will you encounter the house? My niece is desirous you should enter, if you trade to be to her.
I am bound to your niece. I mean, she is the list of my voyage.
Taste your legs. Put them to motion.
My legs do better understand me, sir. And I understand what do you mean by bidding me to taste my legs.
I mean, to go, sir? To enter?
I will answer you with gate and entrance. But we are prevented. Lady, the heavens rain odors upon you.
They used to rare courtier, rain odors well.
My matter hath no voice, but to your own most pregnant and vouchsafed ear.
Odors, pregnant, and vouchsafed. I'll get them all three already.
Let the garden door be shut to lead me to my hearing. Give me your hand, sir. My duty, madam, and most humble service. What is your name? Cesario is your servant's name, fair princess.
My servant, sir. 'Twas never merry world since such lowly feigning was called compliment. You're a servant to the Count Orsino, you.
And he is yours. And his must needs be yours. Your servant's servant is your servant, mine.
For him, I think not on him. For his thoughts, well, they were blanks rather than filled with me.
Madam, I come to wet your gentle thoughts on his behalf.
Well, by your leave, I pray you. I bade you never speak again of him. I did send, after the last enchantment you did here, a ring in chase of you. And so did I abuse myself, my servant, and, I fear me, you. To force that on you such a shameful cunning which you knew none of yours, what might you think? Have you not set mine honor at the stake? So let me hear you speak.
I pity you.
That's a degree to love.
No, not agrees. For 'tis a vulgar proof that very oft we pity enemies.
Well, then methinks 'tis time to smile at them. The clock upbraids me with this waste of time. Fear not, good youth. I will not have you. And yet, when wit and youth is come to harvest, your wife is like to reap a proper man. There lies your way, due west.
Then westward hope, grace, and good disposition attend your ladyship. You'll nothing to my lord by me?
Stay. I prithee tell me what thou thinkst of me.
That you do think you are not what you are.
If I think so, then I think the same of you.
Then think you right. I am not that I am.
Why would you were as I would have you be?
Would it be better, madam, than I am? I wish it might, for now I am your fool.
And what a deal of scorn looks beautiful in the contempt and anger of his lip. A murder's guilt shows not itself more soon than love that would seem hid. Love's night is missed. Cesario, by the roses of the spring, by maid could honor truth in everything, I love thee, so that maugre all thy pride, nor wit nor reason can my passion hide.
By innocence I swear, and by my youth I have one heart, one bosom, and one truth, and that no woman has, nor never none shall mistress of it be, save I alone. And so adieu, good madam. Nevermore will I my master's tears to you deplore.
Yet come again, for thou perhaps mayst move that heart which now pours to life his love.
No, Faith, I'll not stay a jot longer.
Thy reason, give madam. Give thy reason.
You must needs yield your reason, Sir Andrew.
Mary, I saw your niece go up there to the Count serving men, and she ever bestowed upon me. I saw it in the portrait.
Tell me, did she see thee a while, old boy?
As plain as I see you now.
She did show favor to the youth only to exasperate you.
way, it must be of valor or policy I hate.
Well, then build me thy fortunes upon the basis of valor. Challenge me the count suited to fight with them.
Will either of you bear me a challenge?
Go. Write it in martial hand. Be curse and brief. It is no matter how witty, so to be eloquent in bold invention. Taunt him. The license to speak.
This is a dear mannequin to you, Sir Toby.
I have been dear to him, some 2,000 strong or so.
We shall have a rare letter of him.
Before the youngest friend of nine comes.
If you would desire the spleen and will laugh yourself with the stitches, follow me. Yond go Malvolio is turned heathen. He's in yellow stockings.
And cross-gartered.
Most villainously, like a pedant that keeps a school in the church. I have dogged him like his murderer. He does obey every point of the letter I drop to betray him. He does smile. You have not seen such a thing as 'tis. I can hardly forbear hurling things at him. I know my lady will strike him. If she do, he will smile and take it for a great favor.
Come, bring us. Bring us where he is.
I would not by my will have troubled you, but since you make pleasure of your pains, I will no further chide you.
I could not stay behind you.
Oh, good, Antonio. I can no other answer make but thanks.
I do not without danger walk these streets. Once in a sea fight against the count, his galleys, I did some service, of such note that were I taken here, it would scarce be answered.
Belike you slew a great number of his people.
The offense was not of such a bloody nature. Only myself stood out, for which, if I be left in this place, I shall pay here.
Do not then walk too open.
It doth not fit. Hold, sir. Here's my purse. In the south suburbs, at the Elephant, there shall you have me.
Why I your purse?
Happily your eye shall light upon some toy you have desired to purchase. And your store, I think, is not for idle markets, sir.
I'll be a purse bearer and leave you for an hour.
To the Elephant.
I do remember.
I have sent after him, and he says he'll come. How shall I feast him? What shall I bestow on him? For youth is bought more often than begged or borrowed. I speak too loud. Where is Malvolio? He is sad and civil, and suits well for a servant with my fortunes. Where is Malvolio?
He is coming, madam, but in very strange manner. He is sure possessed, madam.
Why, what's the matter? Does he rage?
Oh, madam, he does nothing but smile. Your ladyship were best to have some guard about you if he come. The man is sure tainted in wits.
Go call him hither. I am as mad as he, as sad and merry madness equal be. How now, Malvolio?
Sweet lady! Oh!
Smiles thou? I sent for thee upon a sad occasion.
Sad lady, I could be sad. This would cause some obstruction in this cross-gartering, but what of that? If it please thee, I have one as the true sonnet says, please one and please all.
Why, how dost thou, man? What is the matter with thee?
Not black in my mind, though yellow in my legs. His hands, and command shall be executed. I think we do know thee, sweet Roman hand.
Wilt thou go to bed, Malvolio?
To bed, I sweetheart, I'll come to thee.
Why dost thou smile so and kiss thy neck so up?
How do you, Malvolio?
At your request, yes, nightingales answer daws.
Why do you appear with this ridiculous boldness before my lady?
Be not afraid of greatness, 'twas well writ.
What meanest thou by that, Malvolio?
Some are born great,
Huh?
some achieve greatness,
What sayest thou?
and some have greatness thrust upon them.
Worthy!
Do you remember who commended thy yellow stocking? And wish to see thee, cross-garter.
Cross-garter?
Go to thy maid if thou desirest to be so.
Am I maid?
If not, see me thee a steward still.
Oh, this is very midsummer madness.
Madam, there is a young gentleman at the gate. From the Count Orsino's. He wishes to see you. I tried to entreat him back. He attends your ladyship's pleasure.
I'll come to him.
can come into the full prospect of my hopes. Well, dote not I as the doer of this, and he is to be thanked.
Which way is he? In the name of sanctity, all the devils of hell be groaning little, and Legion himself possess them, but I'll speak with him.
Here he is, here he is. How is it with you, sir?
How is it with you, man?
Go off, I discard you, go off!
Oh, hello, the face speaks within him. Did I not tell you, sir, to leave my lady? Pray to have a care of him.
Aha, does she so?
Go to, peace, peace. How is it with you, Malvolio? What man defy the devil? Consider he's an enemy to mankind.
Do you know what you say?
Lord, you speak ill of the devil, how he takes it at heart. Pray God he be not bewitched.
How now?
Lord!
Prithee, hold thy peace. This is not the way. Do not see you move him. Let me alone.
No way but gentleness. Gently, gently. The fiend is rough and will not be roughly used.
Sir!
Get him to pray. Say his prayers, good Sir Toby. Get him to pray.
My prayers meet.
No, I warrant you, he will not hear godliness.
Go hang yourselves all, you are idle, shallow things. I am not of your element. You shall know more hereafter.
Is it possible?
If this were played upon the stage now, I could condemn it as an improbable fiction.
Come, we'll have him in a dark room and bound. My niece is already in the belief that he is mad. We shall carry it thus, for our pleasure and his penance, till our very pastime, tired out of breath, prompt us to have mercy upon his soul. At which time, we'll bring the device to the bar and crown thee for a finder of bad men. But see.
More matter for a May morning.
Here's a challenge. Read it. I warrant there's vinegar and pepper in it.
Is it so saucy?
Aye, it is, I warrant you. Do but read.
Give me. Youth, whatsoever thou art but a scurvy fellow.
Good and valiant.
Wonder not nor admire not in thy mind why I do call thee so, for I will show thee no reason for it.
A good note that keeps you from the blow of the law.
Thou comest to the Lady Olivia, and in my sight she uses thee kindly. Thou liest in my throat. This is not the matter I challenge thee for.
Good.
I will waylay thee going home, where if it be thy chance to kill me, thou killest me like a rogue and a villain.
Still you keep in the windy side of the law. Good.
Fare thee well, and God have mercy upon one of our souls. He may have mercy upon mine. But my hope is better, and so look to thyself, thy friend as thou usest him, and thy sworn enemy, Andrew Aguecheek. If this letter move him not, his legs cannot. I'll give it to him.
He is now in some commerce with my lady and will by and by depart.
Go. Scout me for him at the corner of the orchard, like a bum baby. And as soon as thou seest him, draw. As thou drawest, swear horrible. Away.
Nay, let me alone for swearing.
Now will I not deliver this letter. For the behavior of the young gentleman gives him out to be of good capacity and breeding. His employment between his lord and my niece confirms no less. Therefore, this letter being so excellently ignorant, will breed no terror in youth. He will find it comes from a clodpole. But, sir, I will deliver this message, sent upon Aguecheek notable report of valor, and drive the youth, as the gentleman would aptly receive it, into most hideous opinion of his rage, skill, fury, and impetuosity. This will so frighten them both that they will kill each other at the look, like cockatrices.
Here he comes with your niece. Give them way till he take leave, and presently after him.
Come, I shall meditate the while upon some forward message for a challenge.
I have said too much unto a heart of stone. There's something in me that reproves my fault, but such a headstrong, potent fault it is that it but mocks reproof. But the same behavior that your passion bears goes on my master's griefs. Here, wear this jewel for me. 'Tis my tincture. Refuse it not, it hath no tongue to vex you. And I beseech you, come again tomorrow. What shall you ask of me that I'll deny, that honor saved me upon asking gift? Nothing but this, your true love for my master. How with mine honor may give him that which I've given to you, I will acquit you. Fare thee well. Come again tomorrow.
gentlemen.
And you, sir?
That defense thou hast taken be taught. Of the nature of the wrongs thou hast done him, I know not. But the interceptor, full of despite, bloody as the hunter, attends thee at the orchard's end.
You do mistake me, sir. I am sure no man hath any quarrel to me. My remembrance is very free and clear of any offense done to any man.
I assure you, you will find it otherwise. Therefore, if you hold your life at any price, betake you to your guard. For your opposite hath in him what youth, strength, and wrath can furnish men withal.
I pray you, sir, what is he?
He is knight, dubbed with unhatched rapier and uncarpet consideration. Bodies and souls hath he divorced three. His incensement at this moment is so implacable that satisfaction can be none but by pains of death and sepulchre.
I will return again into the house and desire some conduct of the lady. I am no fighter.
No, sir, his indignation derives itself out of a very competent injury.
I pray you do me this courteous office as to know of the night what my offense against him is. It is something of my negligence, nothing of my purpose.
I will do so. Signor Fabius, stay by this gentleman to my return.
I pray you, do you know of this matter?
I know the knight is incensed against you, even to a mortal arbitrament, but nothing of that circumstance more.
I beseech you, what manner of man is he?
Nothing of that wonderful promise, to read him by his form, as you are like to find him in a proof of his valor. He is indeed, sir, the most skillful, fatal, and bloody opposite that you could have possibly found in any part of Illyria. Will you walk towards him? I will make your peace with him if I can.
I shall be much bound to you for it. I am one who would rather go with Sir Priest than Sir Knight. I care not who knows so much of my mettle.
Why, man, he's very devil. I had passed him rapier scabbard and all. He gives me the stuck in such a mortal motion that is inevitable. They say he has been fencer to the prince.
Pox on it, I'll not meddle with him.
I bet he cannot now be pacified. Baby, I can scarce hold him yonder.
Plague on it.
Stand here, make a show on it. This shall end without the perdition of souls. I have persuaded him the youth's a devil.
He is as horribly conceited of him.
Come, sir. The gentleman will, for oath's sake, fight with you.
Give ground if you see him furious. He protests he will not hurt you.
Approach, surrender. The gentleman will, for his honor's sake, have but one bout with you. He cannot by the duel avoid it. But he has promised me, as he is a gentleman and a soldier, that he will not harm you. Come on to it.
Pray God and keep his oath.
I'm for you.
I'll take care of
Oh, good sir, tell me, hold here, coming officers!
I'll be with you anon.
I pray you, sir, put up your sword.
Marry will I, sir. This is the man. Do thy office.
Antonio, I arrest thee in the suit of Count Orsino.
Do mistake me, sir.
No, sir, no jot. I know thy favor well, though no sea cap is on your head. Take him away, he knows I know him.
I must obey. This comes of seeking you. What now my necessity makes me to ask you for my praise.
Come, sir, away.
I must entreat of you some of that money.
What money, sir? Out of my lean and low ability, I'll lend you something.
Will you deny me now? Is it possible my deserts to you can lack persuasion? Do not tempt my misery, lest it make me so unsound a man as to rate you with all those kindnesses that I have done for you.
I know of none, sir. Nor know I you by voice or any feature.
Oh, heavens themselves!
Come, sir, I pray you go.
Let me stay a while. This youth you see here, I snatched one half out of the jaws of death.
What's that to us? The time goes by. Away.
Thou hast, Sebastian, done good features shame. In nature there's no blemish but the mind, and none can be called deformed but the unkind.
The man goes mad. Come, sir, away.
Lead me on.
Methinks his words do from such passion fly that he believes himself. So do not I. Prove true imagination. Oh, prove true. That I, dear brother, be now taken for you.
Come hither, knight. Come hither, Fabia.
He named Sebastian. I, my brother, know still living in my glass. Even such and so in favor was my brother. And went he still in this color, fashion, ornament. For him I imitate. Oh, if it prove, tempests are kind, and salt waves fresh in love.
Very dishonest, paltry boy, and more a coward than a hare. His dishonesty appears in leaving his friend here in necessity and denying him. As for his cowardship, ask Fabia.
A coward, a most devout coward, religious in it.
Slim! Oh! I'll after him again and beat him.
Do, cuff him soundly, but never draw thy sword.
And I do not.
Come, let's see the event.
I dare lay any money, will be nothing yet.
Will you not let me believe that I am sent for you?
Go to, go to. Thou art a foolish fellow, let me be clear of thee.
Come out in faith.
No, I do not know you. Nor was I sent to you by my lady to bid you come speak with her. Nor your name is not Master Cesario. Nor this is not my nose neither. Nothing that is so is so.
I pray thee, vent thy folly somewhere else. Thou knowest not me.
Vent my folly? He has heard the word of some great man and now applies it to a fool. Vent my folly? I pray thee ungird thy strangeness and tell me what I shall vent to my lady. Shall I vent that thou art coming?
I pray thee, depart from me. Here's money for thee. If you tarry longer, I shall give worse payment.
By my troth, thou hast an open hand.
Now, sir, I met you again. There's for you.
Why, there's for thee! There! There!
Are all the people mad?
Come, sir, hold. I'll throw your dagger over the house.
This I will tell my lady straight. I wouldn't be in some of your coats for 2 pence.
Come, sir, hold.
Nay, let him alone.
Let go of thy hand!
Come, you insult.
well. Go with me to mine house, and hear thou there how many fruitless pranks this ruffian hath watched up. But thou thereby may smile at this. Thou shalt not choose but go. Do not deny.
What relish is in this? How runs the stream? Or I am mad. Or this is a dream. Let fancy still my sense and light sleep. If it be thus to dream, still let me sleep.
Nay, come, I prithee. Would thou be ruled by me?
Madam, I will.
Oh, say so, and so be.
May I prithee put on this gown? Make him believe thou art Sir Topaz the curate. Do it quickly.
Jove bless thee, Master Parson.
Buenos dias, Sir Toby.
To him, Sir Topaz.
What ho, I say, peace in this prison.
Who calls there?
Sir Topaz the curate, who comes to visit Malvolio the lunatic.
Sir Topaz, good Sir Topaz, go to my lady.
Out, hyperbolical fiend, how bets thou this man? Speaketh nothing but of ladies.
Good fool, no man has been thus abused. Good fool, do not think I am mad. They have laid me here in hideous darkness.
Madman thou errest. I say there's no darkness but ignorance.
I say this house is as dark as ignorance, and no man has been thus abused.
Fare thee well, remain thou still in darkness.
Sir Topaz, Sir Topaz!
My most exquisite Sir Topaz.
Thou mightst not need this gown, he sees thee not.
Come. I would we were well rid of this knavery. For my offense to the niece has put me in some offense with her. I cannot continue the sport with any safety to the upshot. Come by to my chamber.
Hey, Robin, jolly Robin, tell me how thy lady does. The lady is a kind pretty.
Fool, I say.
She's so... Who calls?
Good fool, as thou ever wilt deserve to my hand, help me to a pen, ink, and paper, as I am a gentleman. I will live to be thankful to thee for it.
Master Malvolio?
Aye, good fool.
How fell you, sir, besides your 5 wits?
No man has been so notoriously abused. I am as well in my wits as thou art.
Then you are mad indeed, if you be no better in your wits than a fool.
They have propertied me, kept me in darkness, sent ministers to me, and do all they can to face me out of my wits.
Advise you what you say, sir, the minister is here. Malvolio, thy wits the heavens restore. Endeavor thyself to sleep, and leave thy vain little babble.
Sir Topaz.
Maintain no words with him, good fellow. Who, I, sir? Not I, sir. Goodbye, you, sir. Good Sir Topaz. Marry on men. I will, sir, I will.
Fool, I say.
Alas, sir, be patient. What say you, sir?
Good fool, help me to some light and some paper. I am as well in my wits as any man in Illyria.
Well, a day that you were, sir.
Good fool I am. Help me to a pen, ink, and paper. I will convey what I have down to my lady.
I will help you to it. But tell me true. Are you mad indeed, or do you but counterfeit?
Believe me, I am not. I tell thee true.
Nay, I'll never believe a madman till I see his brains. I will fetch you light and paper and ink.
I'll requite it in the highest degree. I prithee be gone.
I am gone, sir, and anon, sir, I'll be with you again. In a trice, like an old vice, you need to sustain. Who with dagger of laugh, in his rage and his wrath, cries aha to the devil, like a mad lad. Pare thy nails, dad. Adieu, good man, devil.
This is the air, and that is the glorious sun. This pearl she gave me, I do feel it and see it. Though it is ruder than wrapped me master thus. Yet 'tis not madness. Yet does this accident and flood of fortune so far exceed all instance, all discourse, that this is not madness. For though my soul speaks woe to my sense, that this may be some error, but no madness, yet doth this accident and flood of fortune so far exceed all instance, all discourse, that I am willing to distrust mine eyes and wrangle with my reason, that persuades me to any other trust that I am mad.
Play not this case with me. If you mean well, go with me and with this holy man to the chantry by. There, before him and underneath that consecrated roof, plight me the fond assurance of your faith that my most jealous and too doubtful soul may live at peace. What do you say?
I'll follow this man and go with you, and heaven's for truth ever will be true.
Then lead the way, good father, and heaven so shine that they may fairly know this act of mine.
My lord, here comes the man, sir, that did rescue me.
That face I do remember well. Yet when I saw it last, it was besmeared, as black as Vulcan, in the smoke of war.
Orsino, this is that Antonio that took the phoenix and her frock from Candy. This is he the tiger did board that day your young nephew Titus lost his leg. In the streets, desperate of shame and state, in private brabble, did we apprehend him?
He did me a kindness, sir, drew on my side. Yet, in conclusion, put strange speech upon me. I know not 'twas but distraction.
Notable pirate, thou salt-water thief, what foolish boldness brought thee to their mercy, whom thou, in terms so bloody and so dear, hath made thine enemy?
Orsino, noble sir, be pleased I shake off these names you give me. Antonio never yet was thief nor pirate, though I confess on base and ground enough, Orsino's enemy. A witchcraft drew me hither, that most ungrateful boy there by your side. From the rude seas in rage and foamy mouth did I redeem. A wreck past hope was he, his life I gave him, and did thereto add my love without retention or restraint, all in his dedication, for his sake. Did I expose myself, pure for his love, into the danger of this adverse town?
How can this be?
When came you to this town?
Today, my lord, and for 3 months before, both day and night did we keep company.
Here comes the Countess. Now heaven walks on earth. But for thee, fellow, thy words are madness. 3 months this youth hath tended upon me. But more of that anon. Take him aside.
What would, my lord, but that he may not have, when Olivia may seem serviceable? Cesario, you do not keep promise with me.
Madam?
Gracious
What
Olivia.
do you say, Cesario? Good, my lord.
My lord would speak. My duty hushes me.
If it be aught to the old tune, my lord, it is as fat and wholesome to mine ear as howling after music.
Still so cruel?
Still so constant, lord.
What to perverseness, you uncivil lady, whose ingrate and unauspicious altars my soul the faithless offerings hath breathed out, that error devotion tendered. What shall I do?
Even what it please, my lord, that shall become.
Why should I not, had I the heart to do it, like the Egyptian thief at point of death? Kill what I love, a savage jealousy. But this your minion, whom I know you love, and whom by heaven I swear I tender dearly, him will I tear out of the cruel eye where he sits crowned in his master's spite. Come, boy, my thoughts are ripe in mischief. I shall sacrifice the lamb to do what I love, to spite the raven's heart within a dove.
And I, most jock and apt and willing, to do you rest 1,000 deaths would die.
Where goes Cesario?
After him I love, more than I love these eyes, more than my life, more by all moors than e'er I shall love one.
I me detested, how am I beguiled?
Who does beguile you? Who does you wrong?
Hast thou forgot thyself? Is it not so long? Call forth the Holy Father.
Come away.
Whither, my lord? Cesario? Husband! Stay.
Husband?
I, husband, can he that deny?
Her husband, Sirrah?
No, my lord, not I.
Fear not, Cesario, take thy fortunes up. Be that thou knowest thou art, and then thou art as great as that thou fearest.
My lady?
Welcome, Father. Father, I charge thee by thy reverence here to unfold, though lately we intended to keep in darkness what occasion now reveals before 'tis right. But thou dost know hath newly passed between this youth and me.
A contract eternal bond of love, confirmed by the mutual joinder of your hands, attested by the holy close of lips, strengthened by the interchangement of your rings, and all the ceremony of this compact, sealed in my function by my testimony, since when, my watch hath told me, I have traveled but 2 hours.
O thou dissembling, come! What wilt thou be when time has sown a grizzle on thy case? Farewell, and take her, but direct thy feet, where thou and I henceforth may never meet.
My lord, I do protest. Well, do not swear. What little faith of thou hast too much fear.
Oh, for the love of God, a surgeon summoned presently to Sir Toby.
What's the matter?
Has broke my head across and has given Sir Toby a bloody coxcomb too. For the love of God, your help.
What is that to you, Sir Andrew?
The Count's gentleman, one Cesario, we took aboard Calabrese, the very devil incarnate.
My gentleman Cesario.
Here he is. You broke my head for nothing. I was sent on to do it by Sir Toby.
Why do you speak to me? You drew your sword upon me without cause, but I bespake you fair and hurt you not.
If a bloody coxcomb be a hurt, you have hurt me. I sought on nothing but a bloody coxcomb. Here comes Sir Toby halting. You should fear more, but if he had not been to drink, he would have tickled your gates than he did.
How now, gentlemen? How is with you?
That's all one. Has hurt me. And there's the end of it.
Away with him. Who has made this havoc with them?
I'll help you, Sir Toby, because we'll be dressed together.
Will you? Asshead, and a coxcomb, a knave, a
Get
pig
into bed,
maid,
let us work you.
a gull.
Madam, I have hurt your kinsman. But had he been a brother of my blood, I must have done no less with wit and safety. You throw a strange guard upon me, and by that I do perceive I have offended you. Pardon me, sweet one, even for the vows we made each other but so late ago.
One face, one voice, one habit, 2 persons?
Antonio! Oh, dear Antonio! How the hours of rack have haunted me since I have lost thee.
Sebastian, are you?
Here's that, Antonio.
But how have you made division of yourself? Which is Sebastian?
Do I stand there? I never had a brother, nor can it be that deed in my nature. Of here and everywhere, I had a brother, I had a sister, one whom the blind waves and surges did devour. Of charity, what kinsmen are you to me? What countrymen? What name? What parentage?
Of Massily. Sebastian was my father. Such a Sebastian was my brother too. So went he he suited to his watery tune.
Were you a woman, as the rest goes even, should I let fall my tear upon your cheek, and say, thrice welcome, drowned Viola?
My father had a mole upon his brow.
And so had mine.
And died that day when Viola from her birth had numbered 13 years.
He finished indeed his mortal act that day that made my sister 13 years.
Nothing less to make us happy both, but this my masculine usurped attire. Do not embrace me till each circumstance of place, time, fortune, do cohere and jump. But I am Viola. All the occurrence of my fortune since have been between this lady and this lord.
So comes it, lady. You have been mistook. But nature in her bias were that you would be contracted to a maid. Nor are you therein by my life deceived. You are contracted both to a maid and man.
Boy, thou hast said to me 1,000 times, thou never shouldst love woman like to me.
And all those sayings will I overswear. And all those swearings keep in true as in soul, as doth the orbed continent the fire, severs day from night.
Give me thy hand.
Lady, you have done me wrong. Notorious wrong.
Have I, William?
No. Lady, you have. Pray you peruse this letter. You must not now deny it is in your hand. Write from it in hand or phrased, or say 'tis not your skill, not your invention. You can none of it. And tell me, in the modesty of honor, why you have given me such clear lights. Bid me come smiling and cross-garter to put on yellow stockings. Why have you suffered me to be in prison, kept in a dark place, visited by the priest, and made the most notorious geck and goal that ear ever invention played on? Tell me, why?
Last novel, Leo. This is not my writing, though I do confess much like the character, but out of question 'tis rising. And now I do bethink me it was she first told me thou wast mad, then camest in smiling and in such forms which here were presupposed upon thee in the letter. Prithee, be content. This practice hath most shrewdly passed upon thee, but when we know the grounds and authors of it, thou shalt be both the plaintiff and the judge of thine own cause.
Good madam. Hear me speak. Most freely I confess myself when Toby set this device against Malvolio here. Upon some stubborn and uncourteous parts we had conceived against him. Maria writ the letter at Sir Toby's great importance, in recompense whereof he hath married her. How with a sportful malice it was followed, may rather pluck on laughter than revenge, if that the injuries be justly weighed, that have on both sides passed.
Alas, poor fool, how they have baffled thee.
Why,
Some are born great,
some achieve greatness.
and some have greatness thrown upon them. I was one, sir, in this interlude, one Sir Topaz, sir, but that's all one. By the Lord, fool, I'm not mad. But do you remember? Madam, why laugh you at such a barren rascal, and smile not, she's gagged. And thus the whirligig of time brings in his revenges.
I'll be revenged on the whole pack of you.
He hath been most notoriously abused.
Pursue him, and entreat him to a peace.
My lord, so please you, these things were brought on, to think me as well as sister as a wife. One day shall crown the alliance on it, so here at my house and at my proper cost.
Madam, I am most apt to embrace your offer. Your master quits you, and for your service done him, so much against the metal in your sex, so far beneath your soft and tender breeding, that since you have fully mastered for so long, here is my hand, and you shall be, from this time on, your master's mistress.
A sister, you are she. Meantime, sweet sister, we will not part